For more on this is Nigel Ward now, President of the Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and he joins us now live. Good morning, Nigel. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, let's take a look at these numbers first and foremost. The total cost of load shedding to South Africa's economy in 2019, 2 years ago, was between 59 billion rand and 118 billion rand. Has this since, obviously, it has worsened, and how does those figures look now? And also, what will the impact be on the economy and also especially when it comes to KZN businesses?
Yeah, Baron, morning to you and to the viewers. Thanks for having me. I think it's suffice to say that we all know that the economy is very fragile at the moment. We're living through a pandemic, particularly in KZN. In July, we had the civil unrest, and now we have suspended stage 4 load shedding. So it's really testing an already fragile economy, and those numbers that you've just quoted are going to increase even further. We've seen during the last 5 to 10 days in Durban, disastrous impact. Many of the businesses, the big corporates, the small SMMEs, as well as the tourism sector as well, hardly hit. And I guess we shouldn't forget about the matrics that are trying to study for their exams at the moment. So really significant impact.
Now let's talk about job losses. I think this will be one of the big factors coming out of all of this. What impact will it have on job losses?
Yeah, Baron, again, I need to say it. We know what the pandemic's had to the job losses. We know there's many businesses have not reopened after July this year's events. And now with stage 4 load shedding, it just worsens it. A lot of the businesses in Durban are manufacturing type of businesses, and they need power to generate the product that they need to sell. If they don't have that power, or they don't have the power at the right time, they're not going to produce those products. They're not going to not be able to sell it, and they're going to have to close their doors. So unless something drastically happens, we're going to see further job losses on already significant job losses through the last 18 months.
And also, a lot of businesses have been reporting during these outages, there's burglaries, and also some incidences where people are also left with having to fight to keep the lights on. So how has this impacted, businesses in KZN, the burglaries?
Yeah, again, and I keep on referring back to it, we're in a fragile state. On many people's minds, what happened with the civil unrest in July. If the power's off at night and there's no adequate lighting, that people become uneasy, people become nervous. I think it's just natural. And we're really encouraging Eskom to try and stabilize what they're doing. We've been living with load shedding now for the best part of 7 years. We really want to encourage, particularly in the city of Durban, for the businesses to work very closely with the eThekwini municipality to allow the IPPs to sell their generated power back into the grid so that we can try and support during the times of need, because it's a crisis.
So is the solution to fast-track procurement of power from IPPs?
Absolutely. As a business chamber, we really want to work with the city management, the provincial management, as well as Eskom, to try and fast-track that as much as possible. There are people that are generating power. How do we put it back in the grid so that we can find a solution together? We cannot carry on for another 7 years saying, well, this is the new normal. We're going to have load shedding twice a day or once a day or whatever the case may be. We've got to find sustainable solutions.
And let's talk about those. Let's talk about contingency plans that your members need to put in place, and also the role of local and national government.
Yeah, look, our members are trying the best, but it's coming at a cost when it can be ill-afforded. A lot of the big corporates obviously are trying to generate through power generators, but it's also the SMMEs and the private residences as well. It's costing them to now put the power up themselves. So we've got to overcome that. We've got to, and we're already engaging with the city in Durban to say, how do we get the IPPs to the table and how do we try and help prop this up together? Because it's not sustainable by people just running their own generators, trying to generate power through some form of solar energy and then trying to sustain their businesses. Not sustainable.
All right. Thank you so much. That was Nigel Ward, President of Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry.